In this video, we're going to be using Declaration Grooming Nightman and the Above the Tie Windsor H1. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using Declaration Grooming. This is Nightman, and this is a sample that I got from Maggard Razors. I got a sample because Declaration is one of those brands I need to try it before I buy it. And this one, I will buy the full tub because it smells to me beautiful. This is Nightman, and if you buy the full tub, the cost on it is $22 for 4 ounces, or on a cost chart there, $5.50 an ounce, which is in the pricey realm. And it's another reason why I need samples, because I don't want to miss at that price. But to me, this smells beautiful. I'll put the notes for you right there. I get citrus, lime, wood. To me, it's a very nice scent, and I will be buying the full tub. We'll show you the ingredients right there. I think this is milk steak. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. It's a great soap, and we'll have a great experience with it today, I'm sure. The razor for today is the Above the Tie Windsor. This is the H1. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that H under there? I don't know. Anyway, this is the H1, which is their most aggressive plate. And I'm telling you, Above the Tie was one of those companies years ago that was sort of a trailblazer in the artisanal razor making realm, premium stainless steel razors. Back in the day, when I first got one of these, the only ones that I can recall making stainless steel razors were Weber, now not in business, Traderi, now not in business, and then there was Above the Tie, still in business, been doing it for a long time. Stan, who was the original sort of founder of Above the Tie, has retired, but his daughter just sent me an email yesterday after I bought the new razor. They have the X slant, I can't think of what it's called. She sent me an email and said she, and I believe it's her husband, maybe Dan, Mariah and Dan are now running the company, so it's still in the family. And so I pulled out the H1 today and just look forward to using it and reminiscing. You don't see these as much as you used to, but it's not because they aren't great. I think it's just because they've been around so long and people tend to ignore them, but they are a great razor. And this Atlas handle's always been one of my favorites. The knurling on it is fantastic. If you just barely run it, I'm not twisting these fingers. If you pull it down your fingers, it'll twist on its own because that sort of barber pole design. I've always thought that was very cool. And so let's get into it before we make a super long video. We have a little under 24 hours growth today, as you can see, and I'll try to avoid cutting that bump. We will apply a little pre-shave just because I'm trying to get it used up. But these things, they really do last quite a long time. The PAA cube. And we'll apply that today, and we hope to have a great shave. And again, it's been a long time since I've used Above the Tie, at least a few months. When Mariah sent me an email after I ordered their X slant razor, she sent me an email also with a discount code. So if you are looking to buy from Above the Tie and you want a 10% discount, I'll show you the discount code you can put in right there, IAMCDB. And if you do use that code, it does help the channel, so you help the channel as well. But as always, I'm not asking you to buy anything. It's completely up to you. But if you're interested in Above the Tie razor and want a discount, you can use that, or you can use my affiliate link below, because it does help the channel when you buy from those affiliate links. But again, I'm never asking you to buy anything unless you just are looking for it. And if those links are there for you and they're helpful, then, knock yourself out. Okay. Today's brush is the APShaveco. This is the one of their handcrafted series, which is very, very good value. Usually comes around $50, maybe a little over to my door. And this is, I believe the scheme on this one, or the color pattern, is called Moon Java, which I really like. I've always liked the Moon Java and Disco Haze colors, which are bright. Typically, I'm not a super wonky color, super bright, neon color guy, but I've always liked Moon Java and Disco Haze. Those two very bright colors I really like. And man, this soap smells great. This is definitely a buy for me. And I'm going to tell you, artisans who are out there listening today, so samples are an excellent service to the customer and those of us who really spend a lot of money and support you. Because in this case, I bought this sample from Magritte, and I will follow up and probably buy the Nightman soap and aftershave because I like it. Had I not had the sample, I would have never bought it because, you know, I don't always like all the declaration scents, although they are a terrific quality soap. As I hope you can see here, the lather is very good quality. Again, it's slightly pricey relative to some of the other soaps, but for a scent like this that I love, I will spend that, you know. But I don't want to spend $5.50 an ounce if I don't have an opportunity to try a sample or something. And so for me, I think the samples are an excellent service, and I would encourage more artisans to either provide them, you know, I mean sell them, not giving them away for free. Provide them as a service. It is really a great service to those of us who purchase a lot of product, and I wish more people did it. And I'm very thankful that Magritte provides samples for some brands because it allows us to try it and see if we like it or not. And usually on the samples, the price per ounce is usually higher, so it's not like they're losing money. Okay, let's get going with our Above the Tie H1. Now this H-plate is one of their most aggressive offerings, if not the most aggressive offering. The blade gap on it, I looked on their, one thing's about Above the Tie, they have a lot of information on their website. This one is 0.91 blade gap, I believe, but they have a blade gap comparison chart on Above the Tie that lists a lot of popular razors. So if you want to compare blade gaps, you can do that. Now keep in mind, blade gap is not the end-all be-all of efficiency in razors. There are other factors that come into play. But blade gap is one of those things we use to measure. It's not the only thing though, so I want to caution you about that. I forgot to mention the blade today. The blade today is the Persona 74 on its 4th use, and it feels super smooth in this razor. And Above the Tie lists this razor in efficiency as a 9. I think it's their most efficient or aggressive offering. It is efficient, but to me it's not. It doesn't feel threatening. But again, I remind you, I do like some blade feel and efficiency in my razor, so just keep that in mind. Man, that's very nice. I want to remind you that this Friday is Real Talk again. This Friday, I wrote down the date. What is the date? I don't remember the date, but anyway, this coming Friday, 8:30 p.m. Nate, I'll put up a slide there, and the date will be on that slide. Nate and Mel from BBS Live will be joining us, and we'll just be shooting a breeze and having a great time. So if you have any questions you'd like us to cover or topics, please comment below. Feel free to comment below. It helps us because I usually have to put together the material for the show, like topics, questions. So it helps me when you have questions. If you have any questions of Nate and Mel or just us generally, please put them below. I really appreciate it. All right. First pass was wonderful. This Above the Tie razor, it's still great today. And the price on it now is, I looked it up, I believe it's $160. Used to be $185. And this model is the Windsor, which has the top cap that fully covers the blade. Now to me, it's not super critical that I have a top cap that completely covers the blade so there's no tabs on the end, but they do make this version. And Above the Tie list, they have some very good documentation about their offerings on their website that I was just looking at prior to making this video. And I did order the Model X slant that they have, and I'm looking forward to using that when it comes in. That's going to be awesome. And again, if you're interested, check out the link below or use that discount I talked about earlier and save a little money and support one of the old school, still in business. I call it artisanal razor makers because they're not mass produced like say Merkur or Edwin Jagger or something like that. Not mass produced in a factory. They're machined. It takes time. Above the Tie really led the way in that. And a lot of companies have come since then and done great things. But I think every company who's making razors today, artisanal, meaning not mass produced and machined, probably owes some respect to Above the Tie and Stan for leading the way. I had the privilege of talking to Stan a number of times when he was still with the company. And he's just a great guy. And now, like I said before, his daughter, Mariah, and I believe she said Dan, so I'm sorry if I get that wrong, who I'm presuming to be her husband. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I hope that's not Stan's son. I'm hoping it's his son-in-law, but if I get that wrong, I apologize, Mariah. But anyway, she was nice to thank me for purchasing the Model X and then extend that discount code and so on. So check that out if you please. But as always, it's completely up to you. Not trying to push anything on you, but I will say these razors, you know, when I use them, I think, why don't I use them more? It's a very efficient razor. It's very nice. It's well built. It's machined from stainless. And really, I think it's just a matter of them having been around for so long. And now there's so many new, or, you know, razor makers in the game. You just don't get that sort of push they used to get. But they're still great. And they still shave incredibly well. Still one of my favorite razors. Sometimes, you know, when I make a list, when you make a top list, a lot of times you'll list things that you've been using a lot. And if you've had a razor like this above the tie razor that's sort of been sitting back and not getting as much love, you know, if you're not reaching for it, you won't put it on your list. But I tell you, whenever I use this razor, and whenever I pick it up, it always gives me a tremendous shave, and it is of great quality. But sometimes I just don't think we give above the tie the respect it deserves, myself included. You know, we all get caught up in what's shiny and new, and you know, we're hobbyists. We're always looking for that next greatest and best thing, but in a lot of cases, these razors that were made now close to 10 years ago are still just as good. and again, I think the cost on this is, I believe I looked it up and it was around $160, which again, it used to be $185. So now keep in mind, you can choose options like this one is a matte finish. You can choose polish. You can choose, I think, brushed. Maybe, I think I got the Model X or the X slant in a brushed finish because, you know, I don't need it to be shiny. But if you want high polish and all that, you can have that done, and the price, of course, goes up, and it does with basically every company you buy from. It takes more time to do that polish, so you have to pay for it. But I will say, because I haven't spoken much about the soap today, this night music, for me, I love the scent. I remember last year when this came out, the Chief did not like it at all. Now, the Chief's not making videos anymore, but I miss the Chief. We used to have fun, you know, sort of jabbing each other and in a good way, in a, you know, good-spirited way. I miss the Chief. We always had fun. He did not like Nightman and Dayman, but I think it's going to be perfect for me. I ordered Dayman because I saw a set on Murphy and McNeil, the marketplace, that only had one scoop out of it. And, you know, I could get it for a great price, so I went ahead and ordered it without a sample. I hope I like it as much as I like this one. This one, like I said, will be a buy for me. I got a little bit too much water in this lather today, but it's still going to be slick. You can see just a little bit of skin through there because of so much hydration, but I promise you, this is still going to be incredibly slick and good. But I don't use Declaration as much as I do other soaps, so when you use soaps regularly, like for me, I'm using Sterling and Shannon's and A&E and stuff like that regularly. I'm very familiar with the amount of hydration that they handle. I'm not as familiar with Declaration, although it is a good quality soap. But I might have pushed it a little bit, but I tell you right now, that is slick. And really, that's the key. I know we all get carried away about, look at the sheen on that lather and stuff like that. And that is a sign of a good lather, don't get me wrong. But don't fixate on that. I'm going to try to put my finger on that bump there just to sort of mark where it is, and I will go over it rather easily. Don't fixate on it. If your lather is thin but slick, you'll be good, most likely. So just make sure that that lather is slick And this is, and that residual slickness is fantastic. There's a wonderful sheen there. Just very nice indeed. And the above the tie H1 is just doing a great job. And again, I'm not quite sure why I don't pick up this razor more often. I think it's just because, like I said before, we all get caught up in the new razors and what's hot and new, and you know, that's just sort of the nature of hobbyist, I guess. And also, when you're doing content, you always want to be showing folks new things and stuff, and then we forget what now I would call, you know, above the tie now, as I see it in the realm of premium razor making, would be sort of a classic at this point, because like I said, Stan and Above the Tie really led the way. And many people came in behind him and have done great things. But Stan was one of those OG, you know, razor makers. And his work is, you know, still great, even today. So if you're interested in supporting one of the OG razor makers still around, and many are not, like, you know, like I said, among the ones I mentioned earlier, Weber, Traderi, they're no longer in business, although Blackland did makes the Traderi razor now. It's another great company, Blackland. But the original Blackland company, you know, is no longer around. So Above the Tie really, I think, led the way for many. And I think we all owe them a little bit of respect. So if you own a Above the Tie razor, bring it out and use it and show people and tell people about it and go, look, this is one of the first, you know, in the stainless steel artisanal realm, or among the first at the very least. They're still around today. So I had an excellent shave with it. It was really, really enjoyable. Okay, let me rinse, and when we'll come back, we get into the boast. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off cam, we did a warm water rinse to remove the soap. We followed that with alum, no stinging today, so that was a super smooth shave. We followed that with a cold water rinse, toweled off with our Lancaster towel, and then applied the magic made by Witch's Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. Awesome stuff. I tell you, today was a really enjoyable shave. I really, really enjoyed Declaration Nightman. I will be buying this. Thank you, Maggard, for providing these samples. Great service. I appreciate it very much. The Above the Tie H1, one of the old school original gangster artisanal razor makers, still great today. It doesn't get the attention it deserves, but it's still great. And I really enjoyed it with the Persona 74 blade. We had the APShaveco Moon Java handcrafted series brush, which I love. Captain's Choice bowl, and we shall finish it off today with Declaration Bandwagon, which is a treat because they don't make this anymore. It's one of the best barbershops I've ever smelled. And this was a gift from Abe from West Coast Shaving. So thank you, Abe, for this, if you happen to see this. And man, I'm just gonna enjoy this. And I use this sparingly because they don't make it anymore. I wish they did, because it's awesome. And thank you all for joining me today. You're awesome. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you have wonderful shaves. And until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.